You did invite me for breakfast this morning. You okay?
I'd appreciate it if all comments about my appearance were dropped. Besides, I don't think I could possibly look as badly as I feel.
I know you're real good at rescuing young women from brutish young men. But how are you from rescuing them from Greek dramatists?
What?
Join me?
Yeah, sure.
I wish Iphigenia had been a good little girl and submitted to the sacrifice like she was supposed to. But if she did, I suppose Dr. Burien would only find something else to bore me with 3 times a week.
He usually does.
Hey, you look like you could use a friend.
Yeah, I probably could.
These ears are well trained. They're willing to listen to any tale of woe.
I'm not so sure I'm ready to tell any.
Ah, it has to do with a woman.
I didn't say that.
You didn't have to. Oh, she must be something. Must have been something? I'm pushing too hard, right?
I don't want to get into it.
I understand. Hey, thanks for helping me with that creep the other day.
Don't mention it.
Now, about Iphigenia.
No, hold it. I make it a policy never to waste my time with mythology. I have enough problems with reality.
Oh, well, now that's your mistake. See, mythology helps us to understand and deal with reality.
Oh, yeah? With lines like, happily ever after? Doesn't happen.
Exactly. Oh, if you'd bone up on your Aeschylus, you'd know that.
I might have to do that. So, who else do you have this semester?
Oh, it's a stunning lineup. Oh, something for everyone. There's Introduction to Boredom, Intermediate Silliness, Advanced Nonsense.
I take it you're not too thrilled with this hallowed university.
Not to mention this hallowed town.
Would you give Kingsley a chance? It'll grow on you.
Oh, that kind of growth I'm not so sure I want.
Then why do you bother?
Oh, you could find the answer in Aeschylus.
Try to get some service around here.
Answer in Aeschylus.
Try to get some service around here. I didn't mean to step on any toes.
Neither did I. I guess there's nothing like telling the hometown kid that his hometown is no good, huh? But it's charming, really. In fact, I'd like to see and know more about it.
Courtney! Imagine finding you here.
Yes, imagine.
Hey, Gary.
Pete? Well, I guess this is my lucky day.
All right, Amber. Out with it.
You want to be depressed too, huh?
No. I'd like to help if I could.
Didn't bring your magic wand with you, did you?
All right. Now, what's this all about?
I want out.
Of?
Everything.
Gee, you know, even when you're depressed, you're an overachiever.
Thanks. A little.
Come on.
I am finding this very difficult and you're making jokes.
Well, you are being a little overly dramatic.
Maybe I have a right to be. My mother was just murdered. My father did it. My sister's living in a pathetic fantasy world, and I hate my job, I hate this apartment, and I hate this city, and that is just the beginning.
That's quite a list. Amber, you know, you've been under a lot of pressure lately. Have you thought about, I don't know, getting professional help?
I don't need any help. There's nothing wrong with me.
I didn't say there was.
Stacy's the one who needs professional help. Dave needs it. Anyone who isn't in control needs it, and that's not me, Blair.
Look, if you're so in control, then why do you want to run away?
It isn't running away, it's having the presence of mind to say that I just don't want this anymore. I've outgrown it. I'm ready for the next phase of my life.
But how many times in her life is it healthy for a person to do that, though?
As many times as it takes to make her happy.
Where would you go?
Where I was gonna go in a year anyway. New York or LA. Just have to push the schedule up a little, that's all. You didn't know I had a 5-year plan, did you? Nobody does. Big city model doesn't quite make it big in the big city, and so goes to smaller city. Then after a year and a half of the best assignments, and a significant increase in the business and prestige of the agency she works for, she makes a dramatic return to the big city once again. This time with impressive credits. All of which put her higher on the totem pole than she would have been if she had stayed there in the first place. Hardly my definition of running away, don't you think? Well, I promised you breakfast, didn't I?
It was a great party, Courtney. I'm sorry you missed it. But you're in luck. The frat's having another one just before Christmas. I'd love to take you.
I think I have to wash my hair that night.
What a sense of humor. Really, I think you'd have a great time.
Oh, Gary, it's real nice of you to ask me.
It is, isn't it?
I just don't think I'd feel comfortable in a situation like that.
A dinner dance?
Yeah, well, you know how it is.
You're afraid of the frat's reputation. The whole thing is gonna turn into a drunken brawl.
No,
Well, don't. The whole thing is very respectable. Elegant, even.
Hey, Gary, I think she gave you her answer, okay?
Look, I'm flattered that you asked. But no.
I know why you really don't want to go.
Taylor.
It's because you're afraid that you're gonna be shown up by all those sorority princesses.
What?
Well, there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Okay, Gary, why don't you stop while you're behind, okay?
You're afraid that because you don't have a lot of money to throw around it, well, you'll feel out of place because you won't be as well dressed as some of them.
Look, I don't know where you're getting your information. But
Courtney, that isn't important. What is? Well, the fact is that you're such a knockout that it's all the other girls who are going to be jealous.
Look, I know you mean well, but I really think that
I tell you what, if it means you'll say yes, well, I'll buy you the...
Gary! Don't finish that sentence.
Davidson, don't you have a class or something to go to?
As a matter of fact, I do. Speaking of class, you need some.
He's something else.
Yeah, sure is.
Better?
Much.
Thought you might be interested in this. The filing cards with the information of every large agency I've kept in contact with over the years. I call them every 6 months. I make up some legitimate excuse, you know. Oh, the pastel-colored ones with the smell of bean sprouts, those are from L.A. In the past year alone, 3 of those agencies have offered me jobs.
Very impressive.
Yes, it is. Although I probably would get a better position if I stay here another year, I think I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
Why do I get the feeling that you're never coming back to Kingsley?
Maybe because I never intend to.
You can walk out on your family that easily?
That easily and with great pleasure. Don't look so shocked, Blair. The feeling's mutual. Do me a favor and get me another cup. Thanks. Hello? Yeah, calm down, Charmaine. All right, why can't she make it? Just like that? Then she's fired. What about Iris? We'll reschedule that shoot and send her on this one. All right, okay. I guess we'll just have to tell them that we can't send anybody over there today. Thanks. Me? Don't you think that's pushing things a little too far? Yeah, aside from the fact that I don't want to and that I'm not up to it, nothing. Unfortunately, it makes sense. I don't want to lose them as clients. Yeah. What time? Okay, tell them I'll be there. Right. Thanks. For nothing.
What was that all about?
In about a half hour, I'm going to be sitting in front of a camera with a leaky infant in my lap, pretending that motherhood has made me the happiest woman alive.
A diaper commercial?
No. It's for a new line of clothes for new mothers. All the times for this to happen.
What?
I just don't like to work with children, that's all.
Oh, but babies can be so cute.
Didn't I tell you she was hot? Huh? Yeah. Oh, and listen, don't worry. I won't tell your wife a thing. Yeah. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, when? No, I can't make it then. Bill and I are playing doubles with Brad and Ken that time. How about the 10th? Yeah, is that good? Okay, how about 7:30? Is that all right? Okay, good. I'll call the club and reserve a court. Right. Good deal. Okay. Yeah, and listen, give my best to Shelley. Yeah. Right. Okay, right. See you. Yeah, Audrey, is he still there? Okay, you better send him in. I want him to be nervous, but not too nervous. All right, right.
Oh, Doug? Dan?
Yeah, look, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I had urgent business, sir. You know I wouldn't do that to you.
Sure, I understand.
So, what's so important that you had to rush right over here today?
Well, I got a call from Ben last night. He's ready to settle out of court.
Uh-huh. So, at last, our eminent physician is ready to come down off his smug professional horse. It's about time, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I wish I shared your confidence, though.
Oh, you will, Doug, you will. When I hand you that check for double-crossing your friend, you definitely will. Yeah, you want some coffee?
No, it's okay.
You know, Doug, at first, I wasn't really sure that you got what it takes, but I'm glad to say that I was wrong. And speaking of that, I've got some more work for you if you're interested, huh?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, now, don't say no so soon here. Now, we're a good team, you know, a good combination. I mean, you've got that innocence that just lulls people into a false sense of security. See, now, you could do that, and then you just step aside and let me move in for the kill, huh?
Yeah. Look, let's just stick to the subject at hand, okay? Ben.
Doug, if you're going to continue to practice law, you're going to have to do something about that conscience of yours.
And dear Lord, help Miriam as she goes about her travels for a job. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. So that's where she's at, huh? Any hot prospects?
Well, a couple of administrative positions and a sales position with one of the radio stations.
Oh, yeah? Which one?
You know the one with all those call-in shows?
Oh, News Talk Radio. That is the stupidest show on the air. All these weirdos call in and toot their horn. It never does any good anyway.
Well, she'd be lucky if she gets it.
I thought you said luck doesn't have anything to do with it.
Oops, slip of the tongue. God's in control, and the perfect job is out there waiting for her.
Well, just between you and me in the kitchen sink, she's got about as much experience as I did when I started looking for a job.
Well, you didn't do too bad.
Yeah, but guys like Harold Webster are few and far between. Hey, do we have any jelly?
Jelly?
Yeah, for my scrambled egg and peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Babs.
Well, honey'd be all right, too.
Well, you go and find it yourself. I'm not going to have anything to do with that.
You know, I'm not saying anything against Miriam or anything. I mean, nicer people just don't come along, but a few months working for the city do not an impressive resume make.
Listen, when the law gets ready to do something for you, unimpressive resumes and lack of experience won't have anything to do with it.
Mint jelly. Yeah, why not? I just wish that thing with the modeling agency was still open.
Well, it's still me.
Yeah? I think she would be perfect for that. You don't suppose that if she got that job, she'd hire me as a model, do you?
Well, if you eat that thing you keep making there, I'm going to consider throwing you out this house.
What do you mean? It's just scrambled eggs and peanut butter.
I know what it is, but it's disgusting. Honestly, Barbara.
You just ought to be grateful we don't have any onions left. By the way, where's Eric?
He's in school.
Oh, bullies and all, huh?
Well, there are some things a boy just has to face. And I still don't think it was right to take him out of school yesterday.
Yeah, well, the kid could be toughened up a little bit. I mean, I offered Miriam, you know, to give him a few lessons in, you know, how to defend himself.
Perhaps.
I don't know what's the matter with you people. I've only got his best interest at heart.
Two wrongs don't make a right, honey.
Yeah, well, two bullies beating up on a kid don't make it right either. And Charles Carpenter had to be there and see the results of the whole thing.
You know something? Miriam said his reaction was rather reasonable. Not like it used to be.
Well, you can bet that's an act. He's going to keep track of it, and he's going to bring it up 6 months from now when the custody hearing comes up. He's going to keep track of her unemployment, too.
Oh.
I'm telling you, if she doesn't hurry up and get a job, he's going to make every day she's been out of work seem like a month to that judge.
Have you notified Martin's insurance company about his decision?
No, I haven't.
Well, listen, when you make the appointment, try to avoid the next couple of afternoons. I'm in a tennis tournament at the club, okay?
Oh, yeah. Are there any other conflicts that might detain you from making sure that your client receives the best justice possible?
No, I think that's all.
No? Good. I'm glad. Glad to hear it.
You know, this self-righteous sarcasm of yours, Doug, is a little hard to take. I mean, nobody forced you to do this, you know.
You know, Ben saved Nancy's life. He also saved her voice. I'm just finding it a little difficult to swallow the idea of him being prosecuted for that.
Now, since when does the law have anything to do with right and wrong? Ben Martin will suffer a lot less this way than if his case was argued in a court of law. You ought to know that. That is, unless you're suddenly feeling that you could come up against me and win.
Well, I'm not a fool. I'm a realist, Dan. Okay.
Good. I'd hate for you to entertain any delusions of grandeur. You know, Doug, your problem is all you have to do is remember that your primary responsibility is to protect your client's best interest. And that happens to be what you're doing here.
Yeah. You know, isn't it funny that the best interests of my client also happen to be the best interests of your client, not to mention you.
Yeah, that's quite a coincidence, isn't it?
You know, it's sure going to be lonely around here without Miriam and Eric.
Oh, it sure is.
I'm sure you can't convince them to stay.
Well, believe you me, I tried, but she seems to feel that they should have a place of their own.
Oh. Well, you know what we ought to do? We ought to put an ad in the paper. Wanted, boarder, spoiled rich girl who needs to know the facts of life. Results in 3 weeks. Ha.
I got a better idea.
Huh.
Wanted, nice quiet boarder with normal eating habits.
You know, one of these days, I am going to fix you my all-time favorite.
Oh.
It is chopped liver, onion and sardine sandwich. Now, that's my idea of soul food.
Sweetheart, one bite of that and your soul will want to jump completely out of your
Are
body.
you sure that you're going to be able to make it to Harold's office with that cake by noon?
That's what I said, didn't I?
I know what you said, but if your car isn't out of the garage in time, it's not going to do any good.
Well, I explained everything to Mr. Wallace, and he promised me.
You know, the way that car keeps breaking down, you ought to think about getting a new one.
I have, and so has the bank, and they said no. Do you think Mr. Webster knows where they're throwing a surprise party for him?
Are you kidding? He probably doesn't even remember it's his birthday.
Anybody home?
Oh, my gosh. Am I going to be late?
Hi.
Good morning.
How are you? It's good talking to you, Doc.
Yeah, well, always a pleasure.
Don't forget, 12 noon. Sure.
I'm not the one liking to forget.
I heard that.
I'll be with you in a second, Dave.
Well, no rush. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'd like to make a stop on the way to the clinic.
Oh?
Yes, there's some things I have to say to Gil Prescott.
You know, Dave, I'm just a little bit uncomfortable with the thought of you getting involved with Gil and Stacy again. Thank you, Hen.
Well, it's a little different this time. I want to undo the damage that I did.
If it's at all possible.
Well, I know that Stacy still loves Gil. And at one time, I think that he loved her. At the very least, I have to find out how he feels about her.
Wouldn't it be wiser to wait until you really have some time to spend with him?
Yeah, too much time has been wasted as it is. Oh, but maybe you're right. I'll try to see him later today.
Now, you be careful. You know, when Jean and Carla first had their trouble, I made the mistake of thinking that I could help them, and I couldn't. For good or bad, sometimes the best thing a parent can do is just sit back and let the children work out things between themselves.